Well, hello and welcome to Jim's Radio Shop, where I'm working on this record player, the Fleetwood 660 three-way stereophonic. I'm still not sure how it means three-way stereophonic. And we're at the point where we're trying to solve mechanism problems. Solved one so far, but the one I'm working on now is this one. Take the reject button and turn it. Oh my gosh, for the first time I got a click. Yeah, but basically nothing happens. That's really what's going on here. So, let us pursue this mystery. Record player mechanisms aren't my forte. Really rather be working with electronics, but here it is. Got the power. Take off our disco heat record, which we are so anxious to hear. Fantastic songs like You Can't Turn Me Off. Okay. You Can't Turn Me Off. Sounds like a... I think I've worked on some equipment that's like that. Now I left this on for quite a while. I'm going to do a heat run test on it. No, to be frank with you, I just forgot to turn it off when I left my shop. And it's gotten quite warm. Now, is any of that heat? Yeah, motor's very hot. Hot, 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 hot. But probably not unreasonably so. It's not a particularly vented thing. Okay, so I think we're going to investigate this mechanism. Let's see if I can get you into a good viewing spot here. There. Here, come with me. Seeing down here. You're not seeing over in this area up here. I think that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to work the reject mechanism. So I turned it in the stop direction. I'm just going to keep moving it and observing everything else that's moving. There certainly is a lot of stuff moving in there. This is a little curious down here. Can you see that? Not very well. You know what, I can turn my the whole record player here, I think, without causing a disaster. There we go. Okay, that's even a little better for me too, I think. Now, there we go. Okay, you can kind of see this mechanism. It's right down here. And what's curious about it to me is this lever here, spring-loaded lever, but mechanically it can't close any further anyway. What is this supposed to do? It doesn't want to move at all. Oh yeah. If you pull hard against that spring, let's see what happens here. I'm not seeing any action in that part. Since they don't usually put parts in here for no good reason. That part is set up to move. But under no circumstances do I see any relative movement between these two parts here. So let's take a closer look at that. Can you do it? Okay, we're going to have to flip this right over and around and upside down and give you a new view back over here. Try not to drop my camera. There we go. Okay. Now the part of interest is now where to go. It's here, right here. Right on the reject control. So you'll see what I mean by very clearly now. There's never a time where these two pieces move relative to each other. So why have them? And that's a pretty strong spring, and it's not meant to move very far. Okay, I can move it. It's not frozen. And for the life of me, it disappears behind the huge wheel here. You know, this wheel has not spun once during the whole time I've operated this machine. And we should investigate that too. Now I got a bit of a problem here. I've got to take the platter off. Excuse me. You can't see on the other side where I'm looking. I'm looking on the top side here. To see what I can see, that moves. Nothing. Isn't that a curious little thing? Now, I'll get back to another sort of way to come at this. And that's to turn the drive. That's what I'm doing here, and that's why this is moving here. What's that? Oh, that's the motor rotor sliding upwards. You know, they're not made to do that. So this is the way it's supposed to turn. So let's turn it. So it's really quite certain that this cog should engage this wheel somehow, at some point, in some way. And my guess is they should be constantly engaged. You know, another thing I see is there's virtually no clearance between this wheel and this piece of metal. They seem to be pretty much in contact. That's a little surprising to me. It's as if this big wheel is up too high. I can't imagine how that would happen. What if we try pulling it down? Power's off, eh? Oh my gosh, look at that. Okay, so now what is that? Is that a mechanism? That's a mechanism that probably brings it into to engage. And that mechanism, I haven't seen that work. Okay, let's. Well, that's really interesting. Seems to want to go. And it's bringing out some other parts into visibility here. Have I got you aimed right here? That's a little bit closer. Okay, so I think I discovered another secret of this. Either this piece has kind of fallen into the wrong position somehow, or well, okay, well that's interesting. I'll tell you what's interesting here. Well, it's interesting to me. It might not be interesting to anybody else, but that's not what I wanted to show you. Okay. Just move this guy out of the way. Here. Sorry, I'll hold him up. Look at this thing. There's a pretty bizarre piece on this turntable. It's bizarre because it's kind of big. A little hulky. It's the center of the big geared wheel. And the interesting point is when I moved this whole thing traveled. And this was gummed up pretty bad. So we're going to work a little more at loosening that guy up. Because maybe it's holding the gear and keeping it from falling into its right position at the right time to engage with the drive part. That's my theory. You know, when I think about the design of these things, I really don't think anybody sat down and designed this thing from top to bottom, having never ever worked or seen another record player. I think this is an evolutionary thing, and the mechanism has evolved. And so each time they come out with a new version, they've made a few changes, relatively minor changes. But after 10 years of doing that, you got mechanisms that are very, very complex. And so what I'm doing, I'm dabbing some alcohol in there. I'd really like to work this a bit now. Oh. Okay. Doesn't want to work now. Tone arm is moving in conjunction with the movement of this. What's happening right there? There's another point to put some solvent in, maybe down here. Yeah, good luck. Well, the great thing about alcohol is it really doesn't matter. Just spill it around for the most part. It's all going away anyway. Let's see if we can goop that up with some alcohol. You know, another way to loosen these up is to apply some heat. If they're really, really frozen, you can put heat on them. And that'll bring the oil back to life. Enough at least to get some actions happening here. So we'll try and work this guy some more. Looks like it's got to be in a... There's that spot. Hey. 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 I think I just found the problem. The wheel is never engaged when it's up like this. It's missing this gear. But pull it down. Guess what becomes visible up here? I don't want that hot engine on my arm here. Can you see it yet? No. I'm going to get this so you can see this. Okay. If you look, can you see? Here. Over here. There. Well, it may not be enough detail, but if I pull this down far enough, goodness knows, the C should be in there. One of those C clips holding this piece down. That's what I'm determining here. Oh, and I can just see a big problem now, too. So maybe there's some... No, I don't think... I was going to say it might be a big problem. I can't engage this with this wheel in the wrong spot, or the mechanism be all messed up. But in fact, if we were spinning these gears, they were doing nothing. So they're just sitting here to drive that. Oh, I don't think I have a C-clip like that. I don't think I have a C-clip. Now, I took one off the platter. What are the chances? I can steal that one and stick it under there. It looks way too big. I'm looking at it here. I don't think I have any of these C-clamps. No, it's not going to work. But I will check in my oddball drawer here. I mean, I'd have to have a clamp and I'd have to have the right size. But the good news is, in the main shop, I go to a big shop one day a week where I drop off work and pick up more work and pick up parts, and that shop will definitely have the part I need, because I don't think I do. Okay, what about cheating it? Twist a piece of wire around there, do something temporary. Let's try that. Yeah, I don't know about that. Piece of wire trick there. Still looking to see if I have a C-clamp in here, or C-clip. Sometimes they go, I'm sorry to say this, sometimes they go by the name of the Jesus clip. And that's because when you remove them and they go flying across the room, you can yell out, Jesus! So they're commonly known by that name. And for crying out loud, I don't have one. Nothing coming to mind about how I can jury rig something in there. Come on, I must be able to do something. How about a tie wrap? Very small tie wrap. Give that a try. I don't know, boy. think I might have reached the end that I can do with this in my own home shop here. Push that guy down. Yes, I can. I think it's absolutely true, though. That's the problem. What are the chances? I think the chances are nil that I'm going to make that work. Oh my gosh. Put a little tightening on it there. This might actually work. Maybe as soon as it spins, it'll come right off. That's probably what will happen. Tighten it up a bit. Again, I don't think you can see me doing this, but I'll show you the end result. Well, I'll be shocked if that stays on there, but hold on. Let me see the timer. I don't know, man. Oops. Let me cut off the excess here. Okay. Can it really work? I actually don't need to put the platter on to make the mechanism work, since the mechanism is driven by a separate drive wheel. So we'll put this guy back in. There he is. Something funny here. Okay. Hey, guess what? The tone arm has come free. So it was that wheel, the big geared wheel, pinning some component in the tone arm mechanism. Now, you know, a really experienced guy who does these all the time would probably spot that in 2 seconds. Look at it and go, wow, the clip is gone. Well, now I'm that guy. I'm that guy. I just need another record player, just like this one, to do. And I'm still letting my eyes wander around to see if I can spot a clip like that. But I really don't. You know, I just have no recollection of ever keeping one. Let's put on the platter. Hey, this could be it. This could be our one chance to hear On Fire by T Connection. I don't really recognize any of these songs. Wonder what year this was done. Made in Canada by TV Records. So I think this record was ordered over the television. Okay. I'm not sure at all about the gears being engaged properly or anything. Come back. Sit there. So let's just give it a go. I'll try to start it without the reject. No, you know, right into reject. Oh, we got a little action that time. Wasn't quite what we want, but let's try it again. It's trying. Okay, so my guess is, no, that doesn't make sense. I was going to say my guess is I've engaged the wheel in the wrong position, but I convinced myself I can't do that. Let's give it another shot. See if can you see the tone arm? Watch. Watch the tone. See it go up. Up. It doesn't drop the record. Okay. Let's try it in a different mode. Now, with the tone arm swung over here, a lot of these players now will simply play the same song over and over and over. Here we go. Up. Come on. Up. over. And didn't go over. The one thing we can do is we can actually play one of these songs. Let's hear what this thing sounds like. Turn the volume up. Not a bad song. Okay, now that's the balance control. That's a left channel, nothing. Right channel, full. So we got one channel not operating. That could be starting right at the tone arm. Make a very simple check of the speaker. We'll hang the see if the speaker comes on. That's what I'm doing here. It does produce sound on this side. It's very, very low. Watch. Oh. That's interesting. So it's producing sound on this side. It's weak on this side. Okay. Ooh, scratch, scratch. We'll flip this over to the 78 side. It didn't make any difference. Go back. Well, it looks like we got another problem to work on too. But that could easily just be the tube. So what we'll do is we'll switch the output tubes. We'll see what's happening there. Boo-doo-doo-doo. Never let a needle rest on a record. Just get in there. And I can also put these through the tube tester if I want. There's one. Oh yeah, they're hot. Wow! Holy! Remember I left it on? They are hot. In fact, they're coming hot right through the glove. You know, one of my safety rules in the kitchen is if you need to use a glove, you need to use both. And the reason for that is if you're holding some hot plate, you know, a hot dish or something with the one glove, and something happens, something always does happen, you'll end up burning your other hand, or you can't use it, and whatever's happening is going to get a lot worse than it had to get. I can hardly see what I'm doing. This glove is so big, and it's kind of tight in here. Just that I've found in doing things like this, plugging this tube in, the tiniest amount of visibility of what you're doing can pay off. If you try to do these things completely blind, they're really difficult. Apparently I'm blind here. Let's see. Come on. Bingo. Yeah. I've also learned that a lot of things in life are just a matter of time. Put the time in and they will happen. So I try not to get too frustrated doing stuff like this. Put the other tube in. This one's a lot easier. Does it cool off enough and I can touch it? No. Wow. It's a question of how I hold my fingers so I don't block my own view of what I'm doing here. Oh, boy. As you use your own fingers, the skin holds the glass really nicely. Hey, here's something I bet you don't know. When you go in the tub too long, you come out, your fingers are all wrinkled. You think, oh, my fingers, they've been wrecked. And they've absorbed water and swollen or something. You know how they get all wrinkled in here. You ever notice it's only the pads of your fingers that get wrinkled? The rest of your hand doesn't get wrinkled. The rest of your body doesn't get wrinkled. Here's the situation. Your fingers get wrinkled when they're wet, so they can continue to grip well. Believe it or not. But I'm sure if you've never heard that before, you think like everybody thinks, like I always thought. Wrinkled up fingers. Maybe even lose grip. But in fact, no, it's to enable your grip under wet conditions. Isn't that something? Oh boy. If you think these record players are interesting, it's really us. Okay, so I have the tubes in. Let's put the power on. Give her a moment to warm up. Now we'll see. So all you're hearing me do is turn the balance control from extreme left, you barely hear it, any amount towards the right, and the right speaker comes on, it's blasting. So switching those tubes made no difference. You know, the next problem could be in the cartridge. And that's a little tough for me to prove in here. Oh. Hey. Hey, let's try that again. Right on the end. Come on. It's up. It's up. And it's back down again. Well, you know, that could be anything from the stupid way I've put that tie wrap on to any one of a number of other things. But we are making progress here, one little step at a time. So, how do we prove if it's the cartridge? Well, we can swap the wires on the cartridge. How easy is that? No, I set off the mechanism again. I noticed the machine doesn't turn right off like it should, so it's still got mechanism problems. I'm trying to think of an easier way to verify the left and right. Well, one would be to literally inject my own signal. That's actually the easiest way to do it. So let's try that. So to do that, we'll use this guy here. That's an audio frequency amplifier. An audio frequency amplifier. And we'll feed the output on one side and the other side. See if we get the same volume out. Switch off. Let's lock this tone arm down. Let's lift this guy up. Out of the way. Nope, gotta go this way. Gotta go this way. I have to get at the connections here. And are there some to get at? Yes, there are. Okay, let's go this way. Go here. Go here like that. There they are right there. Tip this guy right up. Okay, it's going to hang on this power wire, but it's hardly any force. So we can inject a signal here. Now the easiest way is with my finger. So these are actually audio cables here. So these are the two audio cables. So if I just compare that to that, we'll have an answer. Now unfortunately, when I turn this on, it's going to start turning. The motor's going to go. The record and the platter is going to fall off. Put the clip on the platter and hold it on, but that's too much hassle, so I'll just keep an eye on it. We don't really care. You know, it'll only go so far and then stop anyway. That's what I'm thinking. So power on. There's some funny sounds out of the motor in a moment. Platter slowly walking off. It will just come off that far and stop. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's good. As I said, the motor might start making some funny sounds. There's the amp. It bounces. Bounces in the middle. Touch it with a little more precise tool, the finger on the screwdriver. And the other channel. I hear a distinct difference, and I also notice a fairly strong loss of bass. Let's try that again. That's the quiet left. That's the loud right. Oh, for crying out loud, I was turning the tone control. Trying to turn the shaft, you know, without the knobs, and the shaft hardly sticks out. So there, put the knobs back on. Now I'm in control. My finger on the balance. So this isn't making sense. It seems to be totally backwards from what I was experiencing with the cartridge. What? How can that be? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just run my finger over the top of the needle lightly. Okay, so this way is the quieter way. This way is the louder way. Okay, so this is the quieter way. So this way is the quieter way. And this way. Okay, so that's the quieter way. And this is the louder way. I did turn the volume up a bit here. Well, I think that indicates the cartridge is weak because with the balance control set in the middle, that's about the middle there. I'd say those are the same volume. So I think we're pretty close to proving it's the it's one channel in the cartridge. Further proof of that would be, well, it's a ceramic cartridge, I think. I mean, it has to be a ceramic cartridge, so I think just using my voltmeter may help us determine that. Just a simple voltmeter. Good cartridge puts out, up to a volt, maybe 2 volts, something like that. That's pretty good. So we're going to turn the power off for this. You don't need to hear that. And I'm going to clip lead my negative lead off the voltmeter just to the shield or to ground. The reason I do that is I don't have to hold on to it, because I'm holding too many things. Yeah, I still have too many things to hold. I would like you to see this. I have no idea if this is going to work, okay? You're going to know in a moment. So I'm on the 2 volt scale. On one channel, and I'm going to just run my finger lightly over the needle. So you can see it's going, it's 0 is around there, that's the 0, 25, it's not very good. And I rub it, 32. Try the other one now. I was rubbing it pretty hard actually to get that. 50, I saw 36. Oh, you know what? Got this on the DC scale. Duh. Let's try it again on the AC scale. One side. Bit of hum voltage there. I think that's what that is. Here we go. Saw 47. Doesn't seem very good, does it? Let's try the other side. Oh, look at that. Everybody see that? 160, 140. So we're getting, 0.1, almost 0.2 volts. But on this side, sorry man, nothing. Nothing. So that's the problem. The cartridge, one channel is shot. Now, crystal cartridges don't last forever under any circumstances. They last longer if they're kept in dry surroundings, because what happens to them is they absorb water. They absorb water out of the air, I'm sure it's molecular water, it's individual molecules that wander into the crystal lattice, and it stops producing electricity the way it normally does. So if you store your ceramic cartridges in an aluminum sealed container, they will probably last forever until you open them up to moisture, and then they'll start the slow degradation, which does take years and years to happen. So now back to the mechanism. You know what, I'm going to have a little... We've been going 45 minutes here, so I think I'm going to take a little break. And I'm still very surprised that my... yeah, you know what would work better than the... oh my God. I'm having a senior's moment here for crying out loud. Yeah, my tie wrap. Better than the tie wrap would have been a twist tie. You could put a twist tie in there and twist it up really tight. So anyway, if it pops off, I'll do the twist tie thing. But what's really needed right now is more work on the mechanism. So, and I need a little bit of a break. So I think this was video number 6, I believe. See you in video number 7.